Hello, everybody. What's going on? How are you all doing? Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. Hey, hey, hey. What's going on? Let me look at the comments. What's going on, everybody? Can you all hear me? Okay, perfect. Y'all, I have an animal and he's just running through the house like he lost his mind. Okay, cool. I'm like, what is going on? Okay, so you all can hear me. Everything is good. Okay, perfect. So I am going to have a conversation with you all today. Okay. And I wanted to have this conversation for a few reasons. One, I feel like just put yes in the chat. First off, let me introduce myself because some of you all may or may not know who I am. My name is Audria Richmond. I'm a marketing and launch strategist. I work directly with my clients to teach them how to build uncloned brands and launch profitable marketing campaigns. I'm the author of multiple books to include Are You Ready for the Yes, Uncloned Life, and Uncloned Marketing. And I am the creator of the Uncloned Marketing Systems to include one of these bad boys. So don't come for my nails, y'all. I need to go get my nails done. But nevertheless, hey, hey, hey. All right. Also, let me know where you all are tuning in from. All right. Like, are you on my face? Are you in our Facebook group? Are you on our YouTube? Where are you tuning in from? I want to know where you all are tuning in from. All right. So I wanted to have this conversation because oftentimes when we're building things of excellence, it takes time. All right. How many of you all have been building something and you feel like it's taking too long? Like, oh, it's taking too long. We taking too much time to get something done. How many of you all feel like that? Just put me in the chat. If you like, I really feel like I've been taking too long with this thing. I've been taking too long with this creating this course. I've been taking too long to put together this training. I've been taking too long to create my content plan. I've been taking too long to write my book. I've been taking too long. Like if you feel like there's something that you have been working on and you feel the need to think, I've been taking too long, that's who I'm talking to today. Okay? Because it's easy to believe and it's easy to think that, because this is the thing, right? In society, they have you to believe you're not doing enough. You're not doing enough. You're not doing it fast enough. And you're not making enough money doing the thing, right? And somewhere along the lines, when you are doing these things, you can begin to start beating yourself up or over analyzing things that are very it's very, like, for instance, you could be in an immature stage and then you having to deal with a level of maturity that you're not ready for yet. And if you're forced into maturity without really processing the why and how and like why we're doing this, then everything can go left for you, right? And so I've had a couple scenarios this year and last year, hell, really for the past 3 years, if I'm being honest, right? So I think it's important to talk about the first thing first, right? So as you all know, I've authored a book. The name of my book is called UnCloned Marketing. In 2020, that's when that book came out. So this year, the book will be turning 3 in July. Okay. So this book has changed my life. It has changed the game. All of our books are great, by the way. That's just the one that got some traction. And I guess that's because that's what people felt like they needed help with the most, which is marketing, right? Hence, the book did good. Now, during that time, we reached a capacity issue. And if you've been a part of my community for some time, you've heard me say that, right? This was the first time that we had our launch did so well that it imploded on the business, right? And what I mean by that is this was the first time that my calendar was booked out to the max. This was the first time that I had more interview requests and opportunities than ever before. This was the first time that my social media was growing at a rapid pace. Like everything was up. Social was up, email list was up, opportunities were up. People wanted to work with me was up. Everything was up. Now, let me tell you what happened. it scared me. I'm going to tell you why it scared me. So it scared me because I was only ready for a certain level of success. I don't know if y'all hearing me. I was only ready for a certain level of success. What are you talking about? Well, at the time when I was doing this, let's just say we got level 1, level 2, level 3. Let's just kind of use that as a metric for this conversation. And let's just say I was ready for a level 2, right? I was ready for a level 2. I wasn't ready for a level 3, right? And I'm the lady who wrote the book called Are You Ready for the Yes? Right? So here I am writing a book about being prepared for lucrative opportunities. And here I was capped out at every stage humanly possible for my business. I literally couldn't take on no more one-on-one work. I couldn't take on any consulting projects. I couldn't do anything. This was the first time we was maxed out as a company. So what ended up happening? Well, one, we had to establish new systems. This was the first time that I really prioritized multiplying myself, right? Because I think a lot of times when we talk about multiplying ourselves, let me tell you what multiplication ain't, right? Let me tell you what is not. Multiplication is not just charging more money. Some of you all truly believe that, it'll slow down if I charge more money. What if you charge exactly what you wanted and you still didn't have enough capacity? I like to call it a capacity trap. This is something that as business owners, we really need to be thinking about more frequently and more often, right? Because I think a lot of times, and for some of you all who haven't experienced this, like if you're in your business and you haven't, experienced, maxed out capacity, let me prepare you before it happens, right? Let me give you some tips and some strategies on what needs to be in place before that happens. So first thing first, the capacity traps come when you start thinking that like, oh, I need to charge more money. If I charge more money, then people are not going to want to work with me. Let's assume you charging exactly what you want to get. Let's assume your systems and processes are in place. Let's assume what you sell is dope. But what happens when your shirt goes viral or a product you sell goes viral or your book goes viral or your service goes viral and people are like beating down your DMs and beating down your website and beating down your live chat on your website and they're ready to work with you and you're having to turn money away because you wasn't ready? Now, I think on social media, some people have made it cute, right? I sold out. I sold out. Oh, I sold out. I'm so sold out. And the thing about being sold out, it's cute for a moment, but that's not how you build a business. You can't build a business on sold out. Can you imagine, right? Your Fruit Loops, the brand, Kellogg's, you selling your Fruit Loops. Do Kellogg's sell Fruit Loops? Anyway, y'all get where I'm going with this. Let's say you selling Fruit Loops, right? Can you imagine you in 1,000 stores around the world or 10,000 stores around the world and people, every store they go to get Fruit Loops is sold out. Literally, you can't get no Fruit Loops. You sold out here. That's not a good look. Like, I think when you look at it on a national level, you think like, oh, you're right. That would be silly. What if I can't buy toilet paper? Or, at some point, hell, during COVID, you couldn't. Or what if you couldn't buy certain essential things that you need? What if big companies thought like small brands? We would be fucked up, right? Because think about it. If big companies thought like small brands, you wouldn't be able to get just your day-to-day things, right? What if the gas station decided, you know what? I want to take a break. I don't feel like giving y'all gas today. Let me take a break, right? Or what if you needed, some draws, you know what I mean? And you go to your Walmart or your Target and you can't find it or whatever. Can you imagine being in a situation where you actually need the thing? And because the business was thinking small and operating small, they could not serve you. This is why small businesses are treated not in a fair way, in my opinion, right? That's why, people will go to, the Amazons of the world, or the Best Buys, like all of these big corporations, because they feel like small business will not grow beyond a certain level. And this is why when people are coming to you, they don't really respect us as small business owners. And why am I saying us? Because I realized the flaw as a small Black owned business, right? The thing that's keeping me from making, as a company, we have made over $2 million in sales. But why haven't I made 10? Why haven't I made 100? Why haven't I made 250? Why haven't I made a billion? A lot of it has to do with infrastructure, people management, and it also has a lot to do with having a team. So I think a lot of the times when we're growing and growing and growing and growing, when we talk about scale, the number one thing you're going to have to learn and become really, really good at right now, and I'm just giving you a heads up, you're going to have to get really, 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 really good at managing people. You're going to have to be good with dealing with attitudes. You're going to have to be good with dealing with pushbacks. You're going to have to be cool with hiring and firing. You're going to have to be cool with all of those things. And it's hella uncomfortable, right? Because there's a certain level of responsibility that is required when you say you want to be known. There's a certain level of responsibility that's required when you say, I want to make more money. There's a certain level of responsibility that's required when you want everybody's talking about you. A lot of you all keep saying stuff like, I ain't getting the followers. I'm not getting nobody ain't coming to my website. And they not buying from me. They not this, they not that, they not this, not that. Let's assume you got 10,000 clients tonight at 7. How would you actually be able to operate? Have you all actually thought about that? Like I really want you all to go there, because if you can't even build up the mental capacity to believe that one day you will never have 10,000 clients, why the hell are you doing this work? I'm just curious. Because the moment you get clear on why you're doing this work, then you can operate and be small if that's what you choose. If you have decided in your head, I don't ever want more than, a $500,000 business, cool. It don't take a lot to run a $500,000 business. But if you tell me you want a 5, 10, 15, $100 million business, baby, the whole being of who you are now has to evolve. You have to evolve mentally, spiritually, physically. I'm in a stage in my business where I need to get fit. Like, I believe if I get more fit, I'm going to make more money. I believe if I get more spiritually aligned, I'm going to make more money. I believe if I work on my mindset, I'm going to get more money. Because like literally, as you become more successful, you have to have a higher tolerance for BS. BS when it comes to people, BS when it comes to vendors, BS when it comes to services, vendors, like literally, it doesn't matter what it is. Your tolerance has to change. You cannot get pissed off like you did when you was making 10 grand. You can't. When you making millions of dollars, you can't say certain stuff on social media. You can't be popping off at the mouth when you have become super successful and when you are a leader of your thing. And so I know a lot of the times when we are, let me say this too. I'm a very emotional, sensitive person. I am. I was born on July 20th. I'm a Cancer. And as a very emotional, caring person, I have a higher level of empathy for people that I don't know if it's safe for my business. And I'm being transparent with you, right? There's a level of empathy that I have that I often question, is it keeping me at a certain level? Because I don't know how to make tough decisions, or I don't know how to release things that are no longer good for me, right? And so because I'm a person who over empathize a lot, I tend to let things linger on more than they should. And it end up harming me more than it does other people, right? And so this is what I will also say, right? I'm in a stage where I got to be slow. And at one point, I thought I wasn't moving like fast enough. I felt like, okay, you taking a little bit, you taking too long. Like it's taking you a little minute. Like it's taking you a minute to be able to do that. And I was just thinking to myself, like, man, I really need to. I want. I'm getting emotional talking about this. Like I'm getting emotional talking about this. I'm trying to keep my face together. Can I be honest with y'all? Just put 100 in the chat, right? Can I be honest with you? Just put 100 in the chat. So we recently went through a big hiring spree. Okay. Some people laugh, whatever. I don't care. But I needed to kind of get over this fear of hiring, right? You know, if you a big business, if you've been around a long time, you know, you don't have no problem with hiring and firing, right? Like this is your thing. You do it all day, every day. But as a person who's new to hiring, who's a first generational entrepreneur in my family, who can't be like call my cousins and aunties and uncles and be like, hey, can you teach me how to hire and fire? Because I don't have those skills, I felt very inadequate when it came to hiring. I felt very inadequate when it came to my leadership, right? I became like, because you got to keep in mind, and I don't know where y'all at in business, but like how you go from doing everything on your own to having people support you, baby, that's like a light switch. It's a night and day type of thing. It is not as simple as, you know, because you so used to touching everything, right? I was so used to touching everything. I'm so used to coaching everybody. I'm so used to helping my clients out. I'm so used to jumping in and like helping my clients. But I'm at a stage of growth where I have to relinquish trust. I have to ask for help. I have to hire support. And there's a level of unwinding that has to happen in my brain, right? There's a certain level of trust that has to happen in my brain. And I have to get to a place where I feel safe enough to trust the help that I've hired. And let me be honest with you, it's taking me a minute. It's taking me a minute. It's taking me a minute. And people who are coming into our organization, even though they know that fact, some people they still here and they're supporting me, and I love that. And then some people who left because my learning just taking too long. I'm learning every day. And I have to learn that, like, just because I'm not enough today doesn't mean I'm not enough tomorrow. And I mean it in the sense of leadership. Just because I don't know how to properly ask you to support me today doesn't mean that I won't know how to do that tomorrow. And that's the level of grace I've had to give myself so I could continue in the process and not beat myself up, right? And so as I'm going through this process, we're in the process of working with our new coaches, right? And one of the things that we have to do with our new coaches, they have to go through rigorous amounts of training for me to be like, you can help my people, right? And so far we've had, our coaches do really, really good. But now we're at a stage in our relationship where I need them to do more, and I need them to learn more of our products and services, right? And like I said, I asked y'all, can I be honest? I'm being honest. And so during this process, I realized there was a knowledge gap a knowledge gap. And what I mean by this knowledge gap, right? I thought that I had trained them properly. I thought I gave them everything they needed. I thought I gave them all the tools. And as I continue to work with them, I'm discovering gaps, flaws, things that should be in place to really have them support me in the capacity that I need them to support me in, right? And so I said, okay, let me introduce the restructure. I sent the Loom video. I sent out a message in the Slack group, and I was like, hey, this is the new restructure. Do you still want to support me? I understand if you don't. Because one thing I'm very aware of, I never make the assumption that people will stay around for change. That ain't never been me, because I also believe in free will. So if you are if you cool and you understand that I'm growing and sometimes I might have to change some things, sometimes I might need to restructure some things. Are you okay with that? Here's an opportunity to opt out, right? And so as I'm talking to them, they're like, cool, I'm in. All of them. I'm like, all right, bet. Then a new assignment was sent out, right? Sent the assignment over, and now they're supporting me in a different capacity. But then as I'm looking at my vision and as I'm looking at my dream, I need a little bit more. I need a little bit more so I can feel a level of security. Excuse me. So I can feel a level of security and I can release some things, right? So I said, okay, well, what would perfect training look like, right? In my head. Now, obviously, nothing is perfect, but what would need to be true in order for me to fully relinquish everything to them? Because there was a part of me that was like, I ain't ready yet. I'm not ready for them to host their own Q&A calls yet. I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready for them to do certain things. I'm not ready for that. And I had to sit with myself on like, why wasn't I ready? Why, they've been here since December. You've been giving them courses and training and courses since, January. This is April. How come it ain't enough? You take it too long. And then it don't help. It don't help when you're in a growing stage and you got all the experts telling you you're doing it wrong, right? You got all the experts telling you, oh, you should do that. You should do this. You do that. You actually shouldn't have did this. Well, this is what I recommend. If it was me, I wouldn't do that. Audria, matter of fact, you should do this the way we do it based on our system. And you know what? I had to be fucking uncloned. Let me tell you what I mean by that. See, here at UnCloned, when we talk about being uncloned, we're talking about individuality, right? Challenging the norms. A big part of being uncloned is trusting yourself. Whenever I started seeking out of myself, started to ask for opinions, ask for advice, the more confused I became. Because I got expert A telling me this, I got expert B telling me this, I got expert telling me this, and I'm just like, you know what? What do you want to do, Audria? That was the question. What do you want to do? Because at the end of the day, this is your business. You can run it how you want. What would need to be true for you to relinquish trust? So I said, okay. Well, I put together a new training schedule. I talked to Maya. I talked to, who else did I talk to deeply about this? I talked to several of my friends about this, right? And clients. I talked to one of my best friends, Rochelle. I talked to April. Like, y'all know who my people is, right? So I talked to my people and I was going through like, okay, should I do this? Should I do that? Da, 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 da. And then I kind of landed on a new training schedule. And the first thing I looked at when I looked at the schedule, the first thing I said, man, it's going to take too long. How many of you all made a vision so big, so grand, got to the conclusion of it and said, oh, this is going to take too long? Be honest, just put me in the chat if that's been you before. You literally painted the perfect vision, the perfect plan, and you put it out there and you see it. You're at the conclusion of it and you said, oh, that's going to take too long. Oh, that's going to take too long. Let me tell you, I saw it and I say what I always say. It takes what it takes, right? And when I said it takes what it takes, I said, you know what? It takes what it takes, right? Like you can make it not excellent and not get what you want, or you can operate in excellence and get what you need, right? And so I said, you know what? I'm going to call a meeting. I'm going to call a meeting to every coach, and I'm going to share with them that more training is required and that this is what I need in order to trust what we're doing so I can relinquish and be supported 100%. So I had a meeting with each person. I got one more meeting after this. I had a meeting with each person and I expressed to them like what was the vision, what we're working on, all of the things. And I introduced and I share our new training, like our new training that has to be done, right? And a big part of me felt like, okay, this call can go two ways. It could be like, hell no, lady, we've been here since January and we still learning stuff. or it's going to be, man, UnCloned is dope. I'm here for the ride. So far, out of all the meetings I've had, it's been the latter. But a big part of me knew that like, this going to take more time. This going to take more time. This going to take more time, right? And when I shared the vision with both of the coaches I've talked to so far, they were excited, thrilled, like, oh, that would be dope. Okay, that would be dope. Yeah, I'm here. I like what you're doing. And I felt so relieved, right? I felt so relieved because a big part of me felt like I was moving too slow. A big part of me felt like I was moving too slow. And let me also say this. The coach that I just met with earlier today, she said to me something, and it damn near brought me to tears because I feel like this is the thing that people give me a lot of slack for. But I know for a fact it works. I know that like it's a trait that most people should have, but most people don't. She said, I love how thorough you are. She said, I love that you've been taking your time with us. I love that you haven't just threw us into your organization. That's what she said to me. And all this time, I've been thinking, I'm taking too long. You know, I'm taking too long. I gotta take them through a whole nother 30 days of more training. And I'm like, you're doing too much. They should be ready to go, right? And when she said that, it made me so emotional because I am a person who operates in excellence. If you've ever purchased anything from me, you know that to be true. From our launch circle to our mastermind to publishing like a pro to our systems, our products, our services, our digital products in our shop. I don't sell anything half-ass. I don't rush anything half-ass. And this was one thing that I had to apply the same mental strategies and processes to, right? And so me doing that with them and sharing that vision with them and them being all in and knowing that it's going to take more time, I had to be okay with the fact that it takes what it takes. No, you didn't get it right the first time. You now know what you're going to do next time you hire more coaches. But you at least taking accountability and you're figuring it out. And I think that's all that I can do and ask and want, right? Because I think a big part of when you're evolving is that some people are not going to like your evolution. Some people not going to, like, I'm in a dip. I'm very clear that if I'm looking at like a situation where it's like, I'm trying to show y'all like my hands, but anyway, my nails ain't dirt. My nails ain't done. But anyway, like I'm in a dip. And I realize I'm in a dip. And I'm cool with letting people know that I'm flawed. I'm very aware that like, I'm very cool with what's going on, right? Like I'm not a person that's like trying to be like, oh, I'm perfect. And I'm not perfect. I'm very flawed in a lot of ways. In a lot of areas, I'm also dope. And I'm very aware of what I'm working on, what I'm fixing, and what I'm improving upon. And I have to give myself grace in that capacity. So was this helpful? Knowing that like it takes what it takes, knowing that you need to slow down so you can speed up, and that there will be some people who appreciate your thoroughness. It will be some appreciation to being excellent. People are actually sick and tired of rushed products, rushed experiences, rushed services, rushed training. Like people are sick of being brought into things and then thrown into things, right? So I think that it's important that as a company, we get to decide how we want to serve our clients and customers and our team. Believe it or not, and this is something I had to realize too, like I have to coach my team just like I coach my clients, right? I can't assume that the people I've hired are coming in fully equipped to know and operate to my standards, right? So I've been learning a lot with this stage of my business. I've been learning a lot from the hiring process. I've been learning a lot from the training process. And I wanted to come and share that with you because if it's something in your life right now, business or life, that you feel like is taking too long, honestly, it's for the better. Maybe not all the time, but for the most of the parts, yes, it is. So I had to give myself grace, and I wanted to share that with you because I don't ever want you to feel like you're moving too slow. And this another thing I'll say. And if you have any questions let me know. You can put them in the comments and I'll get back to you. But if you have any questions, put it in the chat and then I will respond back to you here in a moment, right? I want to say one more thing. The other thing I will say is that I have made some changes to our mastermind, right? And I was about to start modeling a similar mastermind, right? And we recently had like a mastermind day, and our coach was telling us like all the things that he wished he would have did and how he would have restructured things, and it saved me. And I'm gonna tell you why it saved me, because I felt like my mastermind wasn't growing fast enough, big enough, all the things. And after I sat in on his training, I realized I'm at the right place. I'm at the perfect place at the right time. Sometimes you all are copying and mimicking things in seasons where you should be slowing down. Here I was comparing myself to a fast season when I felt like a season of mine was slow, when the truth of the matter is I was dodging a bullet because I hadn't put things in place, because we weren't moving fast, right? And so I just wanted to share that with you, because sometimes you could be mimicking things that's a disaster. Think about that. You could be copying and mimicking and cloning things that's a disaster, that's going to destroy you. So you have to be very, 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 very careful with who you are modeling and who you are learning from, because the last thing you want to deal with is somebody come, you know, you done modeled this person and then you hear them on the panel and say, that was the worst decision of my life. I should have never did this and did this and did this. And now you feel like a goddamn idiot because you done modeled your entire business around a disaster. So you need to be very, 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 very clear around who you are modeling, who you are getting inspired by, and be clear that you are in alignment with yourself. Be clear around how you want to run your business and how you want to do you. Okay? So anywho, I'm going to answer any questions if we have any. I always appreciate your transparency and shine the light on how things can be done. Thank you. I'm so glad I pumped the brakes on things, slowing down, getting back to my original way of doing things. That's good. So helpful. Let's see. I feel this deep down in my soul. Thank you. This is right on time. Not at all. Feedback or advice needs to be acted on. Absolutely. Let me see. Any more questions? So, hopefully, you all enjoyed this live stream. Also, I have one announcement and one announcement only. You all should be heading over to unclonedinsiders.com. That's UNCLONED insiders. Insiders. Y'all go to unclonedinsiders.com because my brain is slowing down. But go to unclonedinsiders.com. Get on the list, because on Monday we are releasing tickets to my first in-person one-day intensive. It's gonna be big. Hopefully y'all coming. Save the date, August 19th, 2023. We are so excited. And hopefully you're gonna be there. So it don't look like we have any more questions. Audria, I love your. Oh, we have a question. What do you think there was a difference on expectation for implementation for staff versus clients? Let me slow my brain down so I can process what your question is. Why do you think there was a difference on the expectation for implementation for staff versus clients? It's a big difference. That's a great question. Starters, your team, for instance, your clients, they can do what they want. Your team can't. You paying your team. It's a big difference. So like people who paying you, they ain't got to do what you telling them to do. They grown. Yes, they're paying, but that's their investment. When you are paying for your team, right? When you are paying for your team, that's a totally different thing, because you have expectations as an employer. Does that make sense? So like when somebody paying you as a client, they can choose if they want to log into the portal. They can choose if they want to watch the course. That's their investment. But when you're paying for someone to be there to support you in your business, that's a totally different relationship. Um, let's see. When did you know when it was time to hire team members? When I reached capacity, literally, I reached capacity, and as soon as I reached capacity, that was like the indication that you literally need to hire some people. And honestly, I probably should have hired some people a long time ago. I probably should have hired some people a long time ago. Let's see. What advice would you advise someone who has a book they want to publish? Shameless plug, join Publishing Like a Pro. It's the best publishing program on the planet that's going to teach you how to publish like a pro. So, if you want to publish a book, publish the book. It's so many moving parts to a book though. Like you got to decide what type of publishing company you're going to be. You got to get your ISBN. You got to be clear around what your book is going to be about, who you want to target with your book. You got to think through a lot of areas when it comes to your book. And so if you're interested in joining Publishing Like a Pro, you can head over to publishinglikeapro.com, fill out that quick form, and a member of our team will reach out to you. Let's see. Get ready to get your tickets. Absolutely. I'm not gonna say the price for the tickets yet, because the UnCloned Launch Circle members, they were able to get the tickets first before everybody else. And then when we release the tickets on Monday, it's going to be an early bird price, and then the price will increase every single month leading up to the event, whichever happens first. Either price increases or we sell out. So depending on what's going on, but the tickets will be released on Monday. So if you want to join us in August and get hands-on support and help with developing your launch and getting clarity on it. And the other cool thing about when you sign up, you actually get to participate in a series of workshops leading up to the 1 day intensive. So you're not just buying a ticket just for that 1 day. We actually have workshops scheduled every single month leading up to August. So you're paying for your ticket for that, and you'll be paying for your ticket for those workshops. So we got 2 tickets. We got the UnCloned VIP ticket. Is called Yes I'm Extra, and then we got the UnCloned Insider ticket, which is for those who wants to come general admission. But yeah, it's gonna be a really, really good thing. I cannot wait to release tickets on Monday. So if you haven't already, head over to unclonedinsiders.com, get on the get on our email list, and you'll be the first to know about it on Monday when we release it to our email list. So I'm super, super excited about UnCloned Live. I'm kind of nervous, if I'm being honest. I'm nervous because this is my first time like actually putting on an event with a huge stage, and there's going to be lights, and there's going to be LED panels, and there's going to be people and tables and networking, and there's going to be a conference guide, and it's going to be a lot of things, and I'm kind of scared, but I'm also busting through my fear, and it's going to happen. So I'm like, it has to happen. It has to happen. Have you expected the fact that employees come and go? Are you still processing that? Oh, wait. Yolanda, you know that question is a trigger. Have I processed that? That was good. Can I be honest? No. I'm still having a hard time with that. A very hard time. Because I'm a relationship person. Like I said earlier, I love people. I have a high level of empathy for people. And so, so I haven't processed it yet. I'm starting to learn that it's just how it goes. But as a person who is used to being loyal to people and loyal to a relationship, I have to understand that like some people could be here for a day, they could be here for a few months, they may be here for a few years, but nothing is for a lifetime. And that's something that I have to process because I love people, period. Even if we don't have a good working relationship, I do have a big, 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 big heart. And I don't know if that's going to, be a hindrance on my growth in the direction that I'm going. But I do know that I'm doing my very best, and that's all that I can ask for. Great question. You got this. Thank you. Thank you. So hopefully y'all enjoyed that. I mean, we had like 70 some people on here. We got over 200 comments across all the platforms where we're live streaming. So thank you all so much for being here, supporting, and showing up to the live stream. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for being a part of the UnCloned community. So until next time, y'all, let's go live an uncloned life and do what? Build an uncloned brand.